Welcome back Twitch, welcome back YouTube. Let's get back to just another game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, where we have mostly shifted suspicion away from Hiro. Quite a few of us are starting to think he's innocent, but we still have a few more things to prove about why that is. So, let's get started. What does he mean by that? Make your argument. Robo-Justice costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Uh-oh!
No, that's wrong!
And we get a break. Right off the bat. Don't have to struggle for this
You're
one.
absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Do you think you could get into position, Hina? Do you think you could get in the appropriate positions?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
I mean, how many of us look at our feet when we're walking around anyway, though? Right?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Aw, sad Hina is sad. I almost feel bad for calling her a bitch. But she was kind of being a bitch.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit,
I need to move my mouse.
it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body, because you can't take it off by yourself. It's clasped from the outside, and you can't bend your arms to get to it.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. Little help? Let's switch my mouse. Oh, hang on a second. Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid friggin' thing! There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
I'm surprised he could have moved at all. That thing looked fucking heavy.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
Well, I have an explanation.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo-Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Now, I do admit that this game has a more than Phoenix Wright, or at least more than I remember Phoenix Wright, does have a better cadence of stepping you through the case. It doesn't leave you in the lurch as much as Phoenix Wright can, kind of.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Just don't let Sakura do it because she takes forever.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall.
Damn it.
Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
I think I know our next point of attack.
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
That's when we heard Hifumi's scream? Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time. Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Why do I have to go through this? This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
I guess you needed to know.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Make your argument. Monocular file number 3.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
Missing some things.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before
There's some
Hifumi.
health. Is that from
Or
the
perhaps
bullet
it was
time battle?
after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
I think I would do that the other way.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
I think I want to get the numbering as a bullet and use it on the order.
So, regarding I
Maybe
wonder
it
if he
doesn't matter,
died.
but
perhaps
that
it was
feels
after.
We already
more natural.
know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death...
Alright, let's see here.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if
See if I did
perhaps
this
it was
right.
after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Damn it, I missed.
What makes you
Oops,
say
also
that?
shut the statement.
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was
Okay,
killed
barely
with
got that.
Justice Hammer, while Taka's death...
See?
I didn't
So it's
be
obvious
more on the
Taka came
ball.
after. So, I wonder if
Or perhaps it was after.
we already know what order they were killed in.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
And we get a break.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. There's something that relates to what time he must have died. Hangman's Gambit. This one should be easy. Yep, wristwatch. Alright, so we need an I. An ish. A W. Oops, I hit the C. That's what I get for rushing. There we go.
Now I understand.
Man complete.
I got it! Taka's wristwatch. See? Look! It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey you, how long were you gonna keep us waiting? Blah blah blah, I'm an asshole.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
Oh, look at you learning the terminology.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
I mean, either way, he was killed before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
I'm not reading this again. I've already read this several times.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true! We're all in the clear!
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
Yeah, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up!
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room.
Monokuma El Director. Thank you for the follow. Very appropriate name. I salute you. Welcome to the chat.
At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
I kind of like having a Monokuma following me. Hello there.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time!
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Listen, Monokuma is literally the best. He is adorable, and I am definitely getting a Monokuma plushie. I feel honored to have a Monokuma following me, right?
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Also gonna get a 0 the Third Stuffy. I haven't found that one yet, but I'm sure it has to exist.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
Ew.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
Kyoko's always there to bail us out. Kyoko the best.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
You know, Monokuma, I wanna just point something out. If I'm right, I'm checking here. Yes. Monokuma El Director. You are actually a milestone follower. You are my 40th follower. Congratulations. That means we are 10 away from becoming affiliate, which is really exciting. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third? In that...
Oh man, yeah!
Shit.
There's no way! It'd be impossible!
I didn't mean to hit that button.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
I think the storm's actually passed. I don't hear rain anymore. Yeah, whatever it was over me fast and it's heading somewhere.
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Uh-oh! Oh, shit! Somebody reached that conclusion for anybody else.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
Wait, hang on. Where was the first ghost?
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Cause none of you fuckers checked his pulse. None of you.
He was alive?
Nobody. I'm trying to remember. I think Makoto checked his pulse when they found him in the equipment or in the art room, but nobody checked his fucking pulse beforehand.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? Make your argument. Broken wristwatch. I don't think we're going to be making that
Are you
argument.
saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard
I
the
love how they
body
put
discovery
white noise right in
announcement
front of that
along
phrase
with the rest
immediately.
of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Oh, okay. I got it backwards.
Shoot!
Yeah, I got it backwards apparently then.
Are you saying that when
they
we
put
first
white noise
found
in front
Hifumi
of
in the
both of
nurse's
them?
office, there's
Oh,
a
why did I do
chance he
that?
was actually still alive?
No, Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announced.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Ah, god damn it,
And
I didn't want to do
that
that.
is why the
Okay, good,
announcement
it was shielded.
made.
Are we really?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh, maybe I should have let this play all the way through.
Are you
Alright.
saying that when we first found there's a chance he was a...
No.
I made
Hifumi
bad
was dead.
assumptions.
And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announced. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I hit the wrong button. This is gonna be tricky.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he...
No.
They're really putting white
Hifumi was
noise in
dead.
front of the
And
phrases
you know
I
that.
need.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement.
Are we really so Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Crap! I wanted to hold it down.
Shoot!
No, I don't know what I'm doing. You are right. I am not know what I'm doing. Shit.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he
I
was
told
a...
you
No.
I would not be getting a
It is
perfect score on this
Hifumi
one.
was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery
They
announced.
really start ramping
Hifumi's
up the
dead
tricks.
body. And that is why the.
Are we really so sure about Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
There we go. Alright, I've got the bullet I need. Let's see if I can pull this off.
Are you saying that when we first found he there's a chance he was actually...
No. It is Hifumi was dead. Without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Hopefully I get a little health back from my fuck-ups.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere.
Whiskey, you are literally the best. I don't know why we bothered with any drinks besides whiskey. Maybe rum?
I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Yes, it was.
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again.
And we definitely heard 2 announcements.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong! A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Like a virgin, for the very first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And, you know, that's why it wasn't so shocking that he suddenly came back to life.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
Hey, you're not wrong.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Yes, I must show this thing to everyone. Whip it out. Make your argument. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
No!
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Can I hit it? Got it.
No!
Snaked it in there. And we get a break.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office. Well, that's very specific. This cloth was found in the trash can in the nurse's office. It is branded with a popular cartoon character and is found with blood on it. If this isn't the evidence, the game is broken.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
I only cared about the blood after I looked at it and made sure that I couldn't see her boobs.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
So really, we could kind of assume that this cloth might have been used as a lens cloth for the digital camera, probably. Just saying. I bet it came as a set.
And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Byakuya, is this yours?
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
You are dumber than two bricks thrown together.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead. What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
Just in case you didn't look at the fridge. They didn't make it a truth bullet, but they made sure to bring it up here.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was Taka himself. He wasn't actually dead either. Was it Sakura? No. It was Hifumi. Obviously, that's what we've been trotted out to believe down the primrose path.
I got it!
Free heal.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
Cause you idiots can't check for a pulse. Except for Kyoko. He, highly benefited from you not being there, because the rest of us are fucking morons!
So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Bum bum bum!
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
I held him in my lap. I cried for him.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Well, YouTube, actually probably Twitch too, because I need to take a break here. We will check that piece of evidence next time. Thank you guys for coming out and joining me today. As always, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, which is all, give me a like, leave me your comments, remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Twitch. I need to take a 5-minute break, and then we will continue. See you then. Bye-bye.